Good morning, everyone. Good morning to all of you. How are you all? So, first, let me know is audio and video both are okay? Are we good to go? Is audio and video both okay? Yes, okay. So, in the last class, we have the orientation class. Today, we are going to discuss the first chapter of first module, that is banker customer relationship. So, the banker customer relationship or banker customer special relationship, these are the relations which has been maintained by the bank and the customer. Like we know, when we talk about the relationship between bank and customer, so bank is providing multiple types of services to the customer. है ना? Bank is providing multiple types of services to its customer. So on the basis of these multiple types of services, bank and customer have a certain relationship with each other. है ना? Let's say for example, the basic relationship between bank and customer is that कि customer opens a bank account. है ना? Customer opens an account in a bank. That's the first or basic or the primary relation between a bank and customer. In that situation, customer is giving money to the bank. है ना? So that's why we can say customer is a creditor and bank is a debtor. So simply we can say there are multiple types of services, there are multiple types of accounts, deposit, withdrawal, or other facility, electronic payment facility, check clearance facility, or we can say locker facility, safe custody facility. So many types of services and products bank is providing to its customer. So on the basis of that, the relation between the bank and customer will be decided. Okay, so let's just start. So first of all, if I talk about the relationship here, the relationship between banker and customer is a legal relationship. And it's not a kind of relationship that do not have a certain obligations. It has an obligation. That's why it's a legal relationship. So that starts after the formation of a contract. है ना? When a bank and a customer comes under the contract, that is defining the relationship, legal relationship. है ना? Bank and customer has what? They has a legal relationship with the each other, because the relationship starts after the bank and customer comes within a contract. Okay. Now, right, next. Next, we have a when a person who opens a bank account in the bank and the banker gives his acceptance for the account, it binds the banker and customer in a contractual relationship. So, bank and customer will always be in a legal relationship. There is no casual relationship between bank and customer. So, every time when a bank and customer comes under a relationship, there has to be a certain obligation that will be fulfilled from the side of the bank as well as the customer. Hana, so when customer opens an account in a bank, Hana, the bank and customer, they comes under the contractual relationship. So the person who holds the bank account in the bank and uses its services is called bank customer. Hana? So the contractual relationship between bank and customer creates more type of banker and customer relationships. Next. So according Section 3 of Negotiable Instrument Act, now what is negotiable instrument? Negotiable Instrument Act is simply introduced in the year 1881. This act came in the year 1881. Negotiable instrument means simply transferable instrument. Those instruments which can be transferred from one to another person, that will be known as negotiable instrument. And the act was defined under the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Under that, there are three negotiable instrument has been defined, that is promissory note, bill of exchange, and checks. Okay. So according to Section 3 of Negotiable Instrument Act, the term banker includes any person who is acting as a banker. है ना? So who will be banker? Banker is simply any person who is acting as a banker. It means who is performing the obligations within the contractual relationship. That person will be known as your banker. Okay, so banker can be any person who is includes है ना, acting as a banker. That person will be known as a banker. Okay, or you can call it the person doing the banking business is called a banker. The person who is performing the services or the products of the banker of a bank, and the person who is connected with the bank, either depositing the money or taking a loan from the bank, is called a bank customer. So bank customer means simply when you are going to the bank to get the certain product, है ना, or to get a certain services, that means you are a bank customer. And that person who is providing you the product and services, that person is known as your banker. So the relationship between banker and customer can be of various type because totally depends upon the activities, products, services provided by the banker to the customer. So there are so many different types of relationships maintained between the bank and customer. And the reason behind it, because bank provide multiple types of services and the products to the customer. That's why multiple relationship will be built. Now, although the relationship is totally based on the contact, trust is an important part of relationship between banker and customer. है ना? So it's a contractual relationship, but still, if the customer do not trust a bank, these relationship will not ever be formed. Okay, that's why trust is an important part. Now, there are two types of relationship in a bank and within a bank and customer. So we have a general relationship between banker and customer, and then we have a special relationship between banker and customer. The general relationships are the relationship in which simply bank is providing certain product or services to the customer. In case of a special relationship, we talks about the duties of the bank, the services bank is providing, the fee services bank is providing, bank is charging a certain fee or over its duties and rules, etc. That will be known as a special relationship of a banker and customer. Right? So the first one, we are going to talk about the general relationship of a bank. What are the general relationship? It is simply when bank provide the product and services to the customer and they came into the contract, that relationship is known as general relationship. Now the first general relationship we have relationship as debtor and creditor. Hannah, where we are talking about bank is a debtor and customer is a creditor. And this is a primary relationship. Do remember that this is a primary relationship between the bank and the customer. Why it is a primary relationship? Because here this is the first activity which has been performed between the bank and customer, in which the customer is going to open an bank account. So on the opening of an account, the banker assumes the position of a debtor. Why? Because customer is depositing money in the bank. So customer is providing a deposit. That's why customer is a creditor and bank is a debtor. Okay. So depositor remains a creditor of his banker so long as his accounts carries a credit balance. So the relationship with the customer is reserved as soon as the customer account is overdrawn. So what happens? Let's say, for example, there is a person A. A person A open an account in the XYZ bank. Okay. So now the bank become debtor and the customer become creditor. Why? Because customer has deposited, let's say, 50,000 rupees in account. So this deposit has been done by the customer. That's why customer is customer is a creditor and the bank is a debtor. Now let's say, for example, this A customer account A has taken a certain overdraft or loan from the bank, and that has been amount of 1 lakh rupees. Hana, and XYZ bank has given it. So the account is overdrawn. Hana, in that situation, the creditor will become the bank and the A will become the debtor. So until and unless customer account is overdrawn, till then the customer will be a creditor and the bank will be a debtor. But if the account is overdrawn, it means customer became the debtor and the bank became the creditor. So the primary relationship between the bank and customer is the debtor and creditor relationship, in which customer opens the account within a bank and provide a certain amount of money to the person. Bank. Okay. Now the second relationship, before that, banker becomes a creditor to the customer who has taken a loan. Hana, if you have taken a loan, then the banker will be a creditor and the customer will be a debtor. That I have already explained you. Okay, and continues that capacity fills the loan is repaid. So the demand should be made in the proper manner. So when the bank provide loan to the customer, that create a relation of the creditor and debtor. Now the second relationship, we have a creditor and debtor relationship. So bank is a creditor and the customer is a debtor. Right? Bank is a creditor and the customer is a debtor. Why? Because when the bank lends money to the customer is the borrower and the bank is the lender. So the relationship between the banker and customer is there of that of creditor and debtor. Okay. So when bank is providing loan, in that situation, bank is a creditor and the customer is the debtor. Clear? Next. Belly and Beller relationship. Next, we have a belly and Beller relationship. Now, bank is a belly and customer is a beller. Now, what is it? So, first of all, section 148, these sections are important to remember. In certain types of relationship between banker and customer, they can ask the act. Hana, they can ask about the act, that in which particular act this particular relationship has been defined. So you can see, as per section 148 of Indian Contract Act 1872, a bailment is a contract where one person delivers goods to another person. Okay, for some purposes. So simply, the bank became the belly and the customer become the beller. So the person delivering goods is the beller and the person receiving goods is the belly. Okay, so after the accomplishment of the purpose, the belly needs to return these goods to the beller or dispose of them according to the directions of the beller. So what happened when I am going to take a loan from the bank? I am going to give certain goods to the bank. I am delivering a certain goods to the bank, and then I am taking a loan. Hana, or even I can say I deposited a money in the bank. Hana, so what happened? I am the person who is delivering the goods to the bank because I am providing my goods. Hana, so that's why the customer will be known as the beller, and because bank is receiving those goods, the bank will be known as your belly. Hana, so after the accomplishment of purpose, what was the purpose? Let's say I have taken a loan from the bank, Hana, to start my business. For that purpose, I have provided a certain goods to the bank as a security, as a collateral. So when my business was successful and I have to return the loan of the bank, till then the bank will be known as belly and I will be known as beller. Okay, so after the accomplishment of the purpose, the belly needs to return these goods to the beller or dispose of them according to the direction of the beller. Okay, next. So this was the third relationship between banker and customer. So the finder of lost goods, section 71 Indian Contract Act, should return any increase in goods and animals to the true owner. Okay, like if the bank finds a certain lost goods, in that situation, that has to be returned to the original owner. So under section 164 of Indian Contract Act, the finder has to take care of such goods as an ordinary prudent man. So let's say a customer has forgot a certain commodity in a bank and the bank has find out it, and until and unless it will be delivered to its true owner, the bank have to take care of that particular goods like a ordinary prudent man. Okay. Now, in case of finder of lost goods, also belly and balance situations will be there. Now, the fourth relationship between bank and customer is trustee and beneficiary, and that's the most important relationship I can say. So, the bank performs a relationship as a trustee with the customer when the bank customer deposited his property or other assets. So when I am depositing a certain property or certain other asset with the bank, I have to have a trust on a bank. Then only I will be able to do so. Okay. So in this case, the bank holds the property of other documents of bank customer in exchange for the loan provided by the bank. Okay, so what we are saying that simply when it comes to the trustee and beneficiary relationship, bank holds the property of or other documents of bank customer, and in exchange for the loan provided by the bank, so I have taken loan from the bank and I have given a property of my, let's say, house. I have given a mortgage, and or any other property I have given to the bank as a security or collateral. So bank will be maintaining that security until and unless I repay the loan, and when I repay the loan, bank will return that property to me. So the person who is depositing the property or other document is known as the beneficiary. Okay. So here the bank will be the trustee and the customer will be beneficiary. So whenever I am taking a loan, I am providing a certain collateral to the bank, and when this collateral is like the document of the property and something else, so bank will be a trustee that till I return the loan of a bank, bank will maintain this deposit, maintain this property with himself, and then when I return the loan, my property will be given back to me by the bank. So in that situation, I will be the beneficiary because I am taking a loan from the customer, and the bank will be the trustee to whom I am providing my property papers or any other thing, Hana, on behalf of which I have taken the loan. So that's a trustee and beneficiary relationship between bank and the customer. Now, so it can be done in the two conditions. The first condition is when person deposited his important document in the bank locker. Hana, like obviously you are providing the documents of property and you are depositing that property document in your locker. Hana, the person took loan and deposited his property document as security. Okay. So there are two conditions. The first condition is when you have deposited the document in a bank locker. And the second one is the person took the loan and deposited its property document as a security. So the bank performs a relationship as a trustee with the customer when the bank customer deposited his property or other asset. Hana? So this relationship will be maintained between bank and customer when bank customer has deposited the property or other asset with the bank, either in case of the locker or your loan. And so these two types of relationship will be maintained. So in this case, the bank holds the property of other document of bank customer and in exchange for the loan provided by the bank. Okay, the person who is depositing the property or other document is known as the beneficiary, like the customer is the beneficiary. So there are two conditions. Bank is holding the deposits or bank is holding the property of the customer first in case bank is providing loan, and the second in case Hana, bank has customer has deposited the document in the locker. In both the situation, bank has to act as a trustee and the customer will be a beneficiary. Okay. Now the fifth relation we have between bank and customer, that's of a principal and agent relationship. Now it's very simple that there are certain functions that bank performs on the order of the customer. And now when banks get the order from the customer to perform certain services, that is known as your principal and agent relationship. Okay, so the principal will be your customer and the bank will be your agent. Here, the principal will be your customer who is giving order, and bank is working as an agent because bank is fulfilling the order of the customer. Okay, so banker provides agent services to their customer. The agent is defined under section 182 of Indian Contract Act as the agent is the person who is employed by a person by giving him the power of attorney to work or deal on his behalf. Okay, like for example, the banker pay taxes, the banker pay electricity bill, the banker pay insurance premium at the command of the bank customer who acts as a principal. So I have given an order to the bank to pay my electricity bill every month on the first. I have given an order to the bank to pay my insurance. I have given the order to the bank to auto debit the money for the credit card services, etc. So I have given a command to the bank. Hana? In that situation, bank will become an agent in performing the activity which I have ordered bank to perform. That is known as your principal agent relationship. So the bank usually charges for these services provided by the bank to its customer. Okay, so that's the banker customer relationship. Now, relationship as lessor and lessee. So section 105 of the Transfer of Property Act, it deals with the contract of lessee. Now, lessor and lessee means simply this is the sixth relationship between bank and customer. So lessor means the owner and lessee. This should be O. Okay, and the lessee means the tenant. Okay, so first of all, the section 105 of Transfer of Property Act deals with the contract of lease. Lease means something you are giving on a rent. है ना? If you are taking lease, it means you have given something on the rent. So it is a transfer of right to enjoy the immovable property for a certain time with consideration. So this happens in the relationship between banker and customer when the bank provides a safe deposit locker to the customer of the bank to save his important property for a certain period of time. Okay, so what we are saying that whenever the relationship between banker and customer we are talking about, and bank provides a safe deposit locker hana, to the customer of the bank to save his important property for a certain period of time, in that situation less and less relationship will be maintained. So the bank charges his customer who is taking the benefit of the locker for a certain period of time. है ना? So if bank is charging a certain amount of money, है ना? It means bank is taking rent from the customer to use its own property, है ना? So bank is providing its property to use to the customer till then the customer want to save their property or any valuable documents or something else. So that's why you can say that there is a relation between bank and customer, and that is a lesser and lessee relationship. So lessor will be the owner. It means the bank is the lessor and the customer is the lessee. That is the tenant. Because the customer has taken a certain area of a bank on a rent to deposit his valuable things or documents or whatever the customer wants to deposit. Clear? That's the relationship of lessor and lessee. Achha, let me know till now all the relationships are clear to all of you. Yes or no? Should I move forward to the seventh relationship? Clear. Okay. Chalo, let's move to the seventh relationship, that is talking about the pledger and pledgee relationship. So there are certain types of collateral, pledge, hypothecation, mortgage line. All these are the types of your collateral. है ना? In case of pledge, pledge is a movable security. है ना? In case of pledge, we are using a movable security. Movable security means a certain kind of thing you are providing as a collateral that can be moved from one place to another. And in case of pledge, we can say the ownership remains with the customer, but the possession of that particular thing that you have taken, that you are going to give as a collateral, that possession remains with the bank. Hana, the possession goes with the bank and the customer will have the ownership here. And that is the pledge. Hana? So, and it will be a movable. Like for example, gold loan. If I am taking a gold loan, I will be the owner of the gold, but the gold will be deposited or gold will be remain with the bank only. Okay. Now, so pledger and pledgee relationship is there. So banker performs the relationship of pledger and pledgee when the customer took the loan from the bank and deposited some security to the bank. So if I am taking a loan from the bank and if I am giving a movable security to the bank, that will be the relationship pledger and pledgee. So the customer becomes a pledger and the bank becomes a pledgee. So the security of the customer will remain in the custody of the bank until the person repays the money of loan taken by him from the bank. So until and unless I repay the loan I have taken from the bank, my particular properties possession will remain with the bank only. After I pay the whole amount of loan return, then I will be getting the possession of my property. Otherwise, no. Clear? So simply, if I talk about the pledger, pledger means the person who is giving the security, Hana, on behalf of taking loan. So that will be a customer. and pledgee will be your bank. Okay, now eighth, advisor and client. Next relationship between bank and customer is an advisor and client. So as we know, there is a merchant banking also. That merchant, acha, do remember only the type of banking, that is merchant banking, in which, Hana, in which the SEBI will be the regulatory body. Hana, in which the SEBI will be regulatory body. SEBI is what? Have you heard the name of SEBI? Yes, it's a Securities and Exchange Board of India. SEBI stand for what? The Securities and Exchange Board of India. So the merchant banking is actually regulated by SEBI. Yes, Security and Exchange Board of India. Correct. So what happens now? Bank provide a consultancy services also. Like bank can advise you where to invest. Hana, like if you want to take the financial advice, the bank is providing you the financial advice, like where should you invest your money, where should you deposit your money, such kind of things. So the relationship between banker and customer, it can be advisor and client in case, Hana, when the customer invites its security, the bank give advice to his customer for investing. So simply the relationship between banker and customer, it can be as the advisor and client. Hana, in case when the customer invests in securities, the bank gives advice to its customer for investing certain amount of money in a different sector. Okay. So that's why bank and customer having a advisor and client relationship, because bank advise you where you should invest your money. So for example, if you are planning to make any kind of loan, Hana, but you are not sure that which loan you should take. So here the bank can advise you officially or unofficially to take the right decision. And in that case, the banker will be your advisor and you will be the client. Hana? Like if you need a fund amount of money for your business or whatever the purpose, and you have no idea what should be done. So the bank will be guiding you there. Okay. And apart from that, if I talk about relationship between bank and customer, so the advisor is the bank, because bank is giving you the advice where to invest, what loan should be taken, etc. And the customer will be the client who is asking for the advice from the bank. Okay. Now next, mortgager and mortgagee. This is the same kind of relationship in which we have discussed in the pledge and pledgee. Hana. So here the mortgager will be your customer and the mortgagee will be your bank. Now, mortgage is also a type of collateral we provide the bank at the time we take loan from the bank. Hana, at the time we take loan from the bank, we provide a security to the bank, and that security can be mortgage, and mortgage is the immovable security. Okay, mortgage is what your immovable security. Like every time if you are taking a loan and if you are giving a mortgage as a security, you have to give the land, है ना, like home loan you are taking, because it's a immovable security, it's a immovable property that you can use in the case of mortgage. So the ownership of the property remains with the customer, है ना, and the possession of the property, usually, or not the usually, we can say maximum number of times remains with the customer, but sometimes it can be given to the bank also, है ना, the possession. So you can see here section 58A of Trust Transfer of Property Act 1882 defines the mortgage as a mortgage is the transfer of an interest in a specific immovable property. Hana, for the purpose of securing the payment of money advanced by the way of loan. Okay, so what we are talking about, what is mortgage? A mortgage is the transfer of an interest in the specific immovable property for the purpose of securing the payment of money that advanced by the way of loan, etc. That will be known as your mortgage. And I always remember, mortgage, you are giving a immovable property. Okay, and this immovable property secure a money that has been given in advance by the way of loan. So when the banker provides credit facility to its customer against the security of immovable property, the customer becomes a mortgager and the bank becomes a mortgagee. Okay, now guarantor and guarantee relationship. So it is very obvious that somehow the bank become the guarantor of a customer, है ना? Or bank is giving the guarantee of a customer's transaction or the customer's activity to the other institution or the other person. So at the time of international trade, importer needs guarantee to receive goods from the exporter. Hana, in case of what? In case of your international trade, the importer needs guarantee to receive the goods from the exporter. So for that purpose, they are having a certain kind of way, which is a secured way of secured mode of payment or secured mode of accepting the deposit or giving the goods, something else. So here bank gives guarantee to its customer, Hana, how the bank will issue letter of credit to exporter by stating the strength of the importer financial position. Now, what letter of credit is a secured mode of payment that has been used in the international trade. Like you don't know the exporter, you don't know the importer. They do not know each other, but they have to trade with each other because they don't have any other option. है ना? Because if you want to import something and the importer is in the USA, you don't know him personally, but that's the importer who is selling the goods, which is required by you to produce a certain commodity. So you have to deal with that. है ना? And in that situation, if you want to give the advance payment because the importer is asking for advance payment, you can't trust the process. So in that situation, you go to the bank and ask for a trust. है ना? So what happens? The bank will issue a letter of credit and will let you know that how the importer is, and that gives you the guarantee that yes, no matter what, the money will be definitely transferred. Okay, so in that situation, bank is giving you the guarantee. So that's why the guarantor and guarantee relationship will be maintained between the bank and the customer. Clear? Next. Next, we have a relationship as indemnity holder and indemnifier. So we know there are certain things of which the risk of loss will be taken by the bank. है ना? And in that situation, the indemnity and indemnifier relationship will be maintained. So you can see there are various types of indemnity given under the Indian Contract Act. So indemnity is one of the types of contracts in which one person promises to save another party by paying his loss that has occurred due to the person who is making the contract or by the act of any other person. So it's very simple. We are saying what? That one person promises to save the another party. Hana, how? By paying his loss that has been occurred due to the person who is making the contract or by the act of any other person. Like the insurance company. Insurance companies pays us our on the case of our losses. That's the same thing bank is doing here. Hana, so in the relationship between banker and customer, the banker acts as an indemnity holder. Hana, and if any wrong transaction is done while making the payment by the customer, so that's the responsibility of the bank to occur the losses. Okay, so like in the insurance company, I have taken an insurance of my two-wheeler, let's say for example. In that situation, what happened? In that situation, if something loss occurred to my two-wheeler, the insurance company is going to pay me. Similarly, the bank and customer have a relationship of providing a certain goods and services or the financial product and services to each other. In that situation, if a certain wrong transaction happens, Hana, if a certain wrong transaction happens, in that situation, the security or the guarantee, or I can say the loss that has to be occurred by the customer will be occurred by the bank. So that is why indemnity holder and indemnifier relationship will be there. So indemnity holder is your bank, okay, because the any wrong transaction is there, in that situation the bank will be making the payment to the customer. So bank will be taking care of the loss of the customer because of a certain wrong transaction, and the customer will become your indemnifier. Okay, customer will become your indemnifier. Now for example, if you make an online transaction with another person but the transaction failed, Hana, and your money is deducted, so the bank will repay the loss that occurred due to fault occurred in the transaction. So it requires all necessary written evidence to prove this is legitimate. In the case of banking, the relationship happens in transaction of issue of duplicate demand draft, fixed deposit, etc. So simply any kind of transaction which has been performed by the customer and that has not been completed, and because of that the customer has to face the loss. So all that loss will be repaid by the bank to the customer. In that situation, the bank become the indemnity holder and the customer became the indemnifier. Clear? So this is the relationship as indemnity holder and indemnifier. Now, the relationship as hypothecator and hypothecatee, again the same case as the pledger and pledgee, mortgager and mortgagee. So hypothecation is a type of collateral that has been given by the customer to the bank that will be a movable security, and both the possession and ownership remains with the customer. Okay, in case of hypothecation, both the relationship will remain with the customer, whether you're talking about whether you're talking about your possession or ownership. So the relationship between banker and customer converts into hypothecate and hypothecatee when the bank customer hypothecates some movable property or any other asset into the bank to take the loan from the bank. Hana? So who will be the hypothecator? Customer will be the hypothecator, and the hypothecatee will be your bank. Okay, so if I am giving a certain movable security, if I am giving a certain movable security to the bank, at the in case I am taking loan from the bank, in that situation the hypothecator will be your customer and the hypothecatee will be your bank. Clear? Let me know by the 12 number all the relationships are clear. All the banker customer relationship clear to everyone? Let me know. Okay. Hypothecation relationship is very simple. It's a when I have taken a loan from the bank, I have given a certain collateral to the bank, and that collateral is your movable collateral. है ना? Like I have taken a car loan. So in case of car, the possession and the possession and ownership remains with the customer. Okay, but that movable security you have given as a collateral to the bank, and on behalf of what bank has given a loan to you. So in that situation, the customer is a hypothecator and the bank is a hypothecatee. Okay, so whenever you are taking loan from the bank on behalf of a certain movable security, है ना, or movable property, that creates a relationship between bank and customer of the hypothecator and hypothecatee. Clear, Shasha ma'am? Now we have to move to the next type of relationship, that's a special relationship between the bank and the customer. So in this kind of relationship, the duties and instructions to the banker come under a special relationship between banker and customer. So there are certain duties that has been defined to the customer, that these are your responsibility, these are your duties you have to perform. And apart from that, you can see the instructions will be given to the bank to perform a certain activity. And these duty and instruction will be known as the special banker customer relationship. Now, the first one we have garnishee order and the attachment order. And the first one we have a garnishee order and attachment order. These are very important. So many questions can be asked from attachment order or garnishee order. So do make sure you are listening very carefully and understand each and every concept. Hana, like how you will be able to answer question when you know the conceptual clarity, when you know the conceptual understanding. So for the conceptual understanding, do make sure you are listening very carefully and focusing on understanding the concept only. Okay. So the first one is saying the garnishee order is an order issued under the provision of Order 21, Rule 46 of Code of Civil Procedure 1908. Okay. So through this order, the court attaches the deposit of a particular depositor with the bank. It means the garnish order is issued by the court. Anna, do remember that. And and the court attaches the deposit of a particular depositor with the bank. So the bank upon whom the order is served is called the garnishee. Okay. So the bank upon whom the order is served, like the bank to whom court has given the order, that bank will be known as garnishee. Hana? Like bank has given the order to attach the deposit of a particular depositor, Hana, with the bank. In that situation, that XYZ bank will be known as garnishee. Now, the depositor who owes money to another person is called judgment debtor. Hana? So the depositor who owes money to another person is called the judgment debtor. And while the person to whom money is due is called the judgment creditor. Okay, it is called the judgment creditor. So it's very simple. The depositor who owes money to another person is called the judgment debtor. Like I owe money to some other person, so I will be a judgment debtor. Hana? And the person to whom money is due, like the money is due to you, so you will be known as judgment creditor. It is obvious now because you have provided me money, so you are the creditor. Hana, and I have taken money from you, so I will be the debtor. So I owes you the money and you are the creditor. Now the court first issues order, that is nishi, है ना, requiring the bank to explain as to why the funds in the account not be utilized to meet the judgment creditor's claim. So what happened? Let's say, for example, I have taken a fund from a person. I have taken a fund from the XYZ person. Now that XYZ person is asking for its fund and I'm not returning that fund. But I have money in my bank account which can be used to return the fund. But I haven't done that. So in that situation, the person went to the court and told that this is the customer of this particular bank and he owes me this amount of money and not giving since last 1 year, 2 year, whatever the duration is. So now the court will issue a nishi order to the bank, whatever the bank is, and ask the bank that why the fund in the account of the customer is not utilized to meet the judgment creditor's claim. And a judgment creditor means the person who will get the money. Okay. So this nishi order will be issued to the bank to ask the reason why you haven't done that yet. Okay. After this nishi order, now bank have to explain why the bank haven't done that. After this nishi order, after this order comes the order absolute directing the bank to freeze the entire balance or a portion of a credit balance in the account of the judgment debtor. So you have defined that what was the issue, you have got the nishi order and etc. After doing that, you will get the order that will absolutely directing the bank that frees a certain amount of money or an entire amount of money in the judgment debtor's account. Okay, and to freeze this money, the garnish order will be received. Okay, so upon the receipt of garnish order, the bank has to earmark desired balance in the account of the judgment debtor. Okay, so however, the bank can exercise right of set off before applying the garnish order, but after applying the garnish order, right of set off will not be done. So I will be explaining the right of set off after a while. So just understand here the garnish order, then we will come to the right of set off. So what we are saying that the garnish order, receipt of garnish order, the bank has earmarked desired balance in the account of the judgment debtor. Like it can be the whole amount of money, the entire balance, or the portion of the balance has to be earmarked by the bank. So the bank, before applying the garnish order, can do the right of set of thing. Now, garnish order applies to existing debts as also debts acquiring due but does not apply to money deposited subsequently. So what we are saying simply the garnish order applies to what? The existing debts. And as also the debts which acquiring due but does not apply to money deposited subsequently. So it also does not apply to overdraft or cash credit account of the borrower as no debt is due to judgment debtor. Okay, so that's what we are saying that the garnish order apply to the existing debt. Whatever the existing debt is there, on that the garnish order will be applied, and also debt acquiring due to but does not apply to money deposited subsequently. It's not like after getting the garnish order, you have blocked a certain amount of money, and after that, if you're depositing money, that will not be followed the same. Okay, and it does not apply to the overdraft or cash credit account of the borrower, as no debt is due judgment debtor. Next. So garnish order can be served on head office of the bank and it can take reasonable time to communicate to the same to its branches. So the garnish order from the court will be given to the bank head office, and the head office will be then communicate the same to its branches. Okay, so the sufficient time will be given to the head office to communicate that particular to the branch. Now, the garnish order does not apply to accounts in joint names of judgment debtors with other person. Okay, do remember garnish order will not be applicable to the joint accounts. Like the judgment debtor is there, but the judgment debtor is also having a joint account with another parties. So you can't apply the garnish order on the joint names. But it can apply to individual accounts in the single name when garnish orders are in the joint names. Okay, let's say for example, the first condition we are saying we got a garnish order and there is a joint account. There is a joint account the judgment debtor is having with the another person. So you can't apply the garnish order in the joint account. Okay, but let's say you got a garnish order in the joint names. You got the garnish order in the joint names, then you can apply this garnish order in an individual person's account, like joint name of X, Y, and Z is there. So you can apply this garnish order to the X account, to the Y account, and the Z account. This is what we are saying, that the garnish order can apply to individual account in a single name when you have issued the garnish order in the joint names. Okay, so the garnish order was issued in the name of XYZ. Okay, so you can apply the individual account of XYZ, the garnish order. So when the garnish order is in the name of a partner, it will not only apply to partnership account, but when garnish order is in the name of firm, the account of individual partners are covered under the garnish order. In case of partnership firm, what happens if if one of the partner got the garnish order, है ना? If one of the partner got the garnish order, then in that situation, है ना? In that situation, your partnership account will not be get garnish order, है ना? Only the individual person accounts will be get the garnish order. Okay, the garnish order will be applied on the name of the partner of the partnership firm. But in case the garnish order given to the name of the partnership firm, the garnish order issued to the name of the partnership firm, then that garnish order will be applicable to all individual partners accounts separately also. Clear? Let me know all these 3 points are clear to everyone. Let me know first, second, third, all the 3 points are clear. Okay, clear. Third point. Third point is saying, let's say, for example, the garnish order has been issued by the court on one of the partner of the partnership firm. Like there are 5 partners. Out of those 5 partners, only one partner got the garnish order. In that situation, what happens? In that situation, the garnish order will not be applicable on the partnership firm's account. It only be applicable to the one partner's account. Okay, but in case the garnish order issued on the partnership firm account, now you are issuing the garnish order on the overall partnership firm. In that situation, it will be applicable on the account of each and every partner of the firm. Now clear the third point. See, it's very simple to understand. Let's discuss this here. There is a partnership firm. Okay, so it will have the partnership firm account and the partners account will be different. These are the two different things. Like there is a partnership firm account in which all the partners will be the account holder, and the individual partner will have their own account. These two things are different. So let's say, for example, the partner X got the garnish order on his name. It means the partner X is the judgment debtor, now only, not the overall partnership firm is the judgment debtor. Only the X partner is the judgment debtor. So the garnish order will be applicable only the X person's account. This is the first condition. Second condition is that the garnish order issued on the name of partnership firm. The garnish order issued on the name of a partnership firm. In that situation, all the persons will be there in the partnership firm. Now, all the 5 or 10, how many persons you have in the partnership firm, they will be the person on whose account the garnish order will be applicable. So in that situation, all the 5 persons who are the members of the partnership firm, on those account, the garnish order will be applicable. Now clear the third point. No, the joint account, in case of joint account partnership, in case of joint account, the garnish order will not be applicable. It is written very clearly. If there is a garnish order on the name of a person and that person has a joint account with the other person, garnish order will not apply. That's the condition. Okay, you can't apply partially on the account. Okay, so first we are saying that the garnish order does not apply to the account in the joint names of the judgment debtor with the other person. Second, but if you have a joint names garnish order, that garnish order will be applicable to the single accounts of all the individual persons. Okay, and then the partnership firm condition is there. I hope everything is clear to everyone. Should I continue, or is still there is certain doubts? I have already done the no, Shravani ma'am. I have already discussed these 3.3 times. First, we are saying it is very simple. That first we are saying in case of joint name with the if you got a garnish order on your name now, you can't be applying that garnish order in the joint account because you and the other persons are available in the joint account. So the garnish order will not be applicable in case of joint account. But if the garnish order is issued on the name of two or three persons in the joint names, so the garnish order will be applicable on individual account of all these three or four persons. Then in case of the garnish order issued on the name of the one partner of the partnership firm, then that garnish order will be applicable only on that person's account, not on the partnership firm's account. But in case the garnish order is issued on the name of the partnership firm, in that situation, the garnish order will be applicable in each and every partner's account also. Okay, now next. Next, we have a attachment order. So the revenue authorities issue the attachment order. So do you remember the first difference between garnish order and attachment order is that the garnish order is issued by the court and the attachment order is issued by the revenue authority. Okay. So revenue authority issue the attachment order. On receipt of this order, banker is required to remit the desired amount to revenue authority. है ना? So banker has to do what? Banker has to transfer the desired amount to the revenue authority. An order without mentioning the amount is not valid order. है ना? If you get the attachment order and the amount is not mentioned in the attachment order, then it will not be a valid order. Now, unlike garnish order, in case of joint account, attachment order is a in single names apply to the extent of 50% of the balance of joint account unless the contrary is proved. So what we are saying that the garnish order do not apply on the joint account, but the attachment order can be applied on the joint account and the 50% of amount in the joint account can be blocked. Okay, so the attachment order will be implemented on the joint account, hana, on the half balance of joint account will be freeze. Okay, next. In case banker fails to compile with the attachment order, it will be liable to the account of order deemed as an assessee in default. So, however, the right of set off is available to the bank before applying the order. So, before applying the attachment order or garnish order, bank has the right of set off option. But after applying that, bank cannot perform the right of set off. So, in case the banker failed to compile with the attachment order, what happened? It will be liable. है ना? The bank will be liable for the amount of order and the deemed as an assessee in default. Okay, next. So you can see the difference between garnish order and your attachment order. So the difference is garnish order is issued by court of law. Attachment order issued by the revenue authorities. है ना? The garnish order is issued by the court, but the revenue authority issues the attachment order. Second, garnish order applies to the balance in account at the time of receipts of order. है ना? Like whatever amount is available in your bank account when you receive the garnish order, only on that amount the garnish order will be applied. Future credits in the future deposits are not covered under the garnish order. You can't apply the money, you can't apply the garnish order on the money which has been deposited after you got the garnish order. Okay. So besides balance in the account at the time of receipts of the order, it covered the future credit also. So attachment orders covered the amount which was available at the time you got the attachment order, and as well as it covers the future deposits also. Now, the garnish order is applicable only when relationship is that of debtor and creditor between the bank and the customer. So, if the bank and customer has a debtor and creditor relationship, only in that situation the garnish order will be applicable. In case of attachment order, applicable when relationship between bank and customer is
Do
that
you
of a
have
debtor
any
and
doubt
creditor.
in today's session? So that's the basic. Now our next class is going to be there on Monday, in which we are going to discuss the banker customer relationship. That's the first unit of your first module. Maybe that loan has been restructured, maybe in case 4 to 5 years are there and that has not been defined as a NPA. First of all, maybe the installment is coming. If the installment is coming, then it will not be known as a NPA. When the customer stop paying the installment, है ना, that is known as your NPA. है ना, when the asset of a bank stop generating the income, that is NPA. So, Venkit Rao sir, maybe you are getting the installment on the loan, that why it's not NPA. And if no such kind of condition is there in your bank, maybe the loan has been restructured. That's why it is not defined as an NPA. So time of the class will be your 6 to this is the end of the month sale. So that is going on right now on the application. Okay. Now, how to enroll in the batches? To enroll in the batches, you have to download the Error 24/7 application. If you haven't done it, do it, because 1% additional discount will be available and the link to download will be available on your description box. Now, how to enroll? Just go to the application and then go to the JIB section and CIB section. You will find on the application. If you want to go with the selection batch, click on the JIB 2023. If you want to go with the Mahapack, click on the Mahapack. So you will find here, these are the batches, the test series, the video courses, ebooks, everything is available here. If you want to go with the selection batch of all the 4 subjects, click on this particular batch. If you want to go with the only PPB selection batch, you can go with here. Okay, now how to enroll? Just click on the particular batch. Do read the details, the dates and timings, or in the study plan, everything is available on the website. Do check that. Click on the buy now option, enter a code here, that is Y496, and click on the apply. So you will find 80% discount here, but 1% additional discount will be available if you purchase from the application. There 1% additional discount will be available. So around 3600 something you have to pay here. Okay. Apart from that, the much better option for all of you will be Mahapack. So Mahapack, we have 2 types of Mahapack, JIB and JIB and CIB. So JIB Mahapack will be of one year and the JIB CIB Mahapack will be of 2 years. So after enrolling in the Mahapack, you will be getting all target batches, all selection batches, all ebooks, all test series, upcoming revision batches, case study batches, everything will be available. How to enroll? Just click on the Mahapack, do read all the details. After reading all the details, same process has to be followed. Click on the buy now option, enter a code Y496, click on the apply, and you will find here 80% discount. For 1% additional discount, you have to go to the application. So after paying around 60 to 100, you will get the 1 year validity and everything for the requirement of the JIB. Similarly, if you go with the JIB and CIB ka Mahapack na, so you will be getting everything to qualify the JIB and CIB, and you do not have to invest anywhere else until you clear the CIB exam. Okay. So this is the information for all of you. Now let's meet again on Monday with the first class of PPB subject, that is banker customer relationship. Till then, take care. And on Sundays, we will be having, or not on Sundays, every day we will be having a YouTube session. So if you want, you can check the playlist there. The YouTube sessions are available. And the special sessions on Sunday will be available. So do make sure you subscribe the channel. Offices are at 24/7 so that you will get all the information about the classes. Okay. So let's end here. Take care all, and see you all on Monday. Okay. Take care. Have a good weekend. Take care. Bye bye.